What's up, guys? This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you what's on my mind. And I want to start off by giving a great, big, loving birthday shout out to my baby sister. Yesterday was her birthday. She's a subscriber, but she doesn't usually watch my videos, but her husband does. My brother-in-law, my brother-in-law. What's up, man? Please tell your wife, my sister, I love her with all my heart, and I wish her many more. And without further delay, also, you know what? First, I want to, of course, give a shout out to everyone who likes, everyone who subscribes, everyone who comments. I get such a kick out of reading the comments. You know, in the comment sections, I can't always, respond to everything, but I just love it, guys. And you guys are the best. I say it all the time. I always will. So anyway, I wanted to share this article. These days, these Star Wars articles, they're a dime a dozen. But this one claims to be different. It claims to be special. This one says that it's going to finally settle the debate about the way Luke was characterized in The Last Jedi. This is supposed to be it. It's supposed to put it to rest. So what more or less could I do than to share this with you, the viewer? You should not be denied such wisdom. So anyway, this article, it can be found on Esquire.com. Yes, Esquire.com. Oh my God. Oh, here we go. And the headline says, "This Star Wars analysis will end the debate about Luke Skywalker's character in The Last Jedi." And then it says, "Sorry, haters." Oh, shit. Here we go. All right. So this is by Matt Miller. And Matt Miller goes on to say, "To be perfectly clear, I thought Star Wars The Last Jedi was an absolutely entertaining children's movie." It was an entertaining children's movie. Is that true, Matt Miller? Is that the reason why Jeffrey is out of work right now? Who's Jeffrey, you ask? Jeffrey is the giraffe from Toys R Us who suddenly finds himself homeless. He's on the streets of Manhattan someplace, sleeping on a sidewalk above a subway grating. Yes. So anyway, yes, would Toys R Us be defunct? Would it be extinct right now if Star Wars The Last Jedi was an entertaining children's movie? Now, I'm not saying that this is all that led to the demise of Toys R Us, but I'm just saying Last Christmas was quite dismal, and it should have been. I mean, I know I was ready to go out and do some major Christmas shopping, but then the movie dropped and there was nothing. I mean, the children weren't there, man. You know what I mean? And honestly, it reminded me of an old song. And it went something like this. "Last Christmas, I saved so much cash, 'cause the movie Ryan made was such fucking trash. Next year, we'll see who's in tears. Oh, it's gonna be so special." Thank you. Thank you very much. Jitterbug. That's amazing. All right, anyway, let me stop being silly. All right, so the article goes on to say, this is what happens when my son is not home. He's been home with me all week, but he went over to his mom's place. So right now it's just crazy for me, you know what I mean? I feel like, what am I going to do, you know what I mean? So anyway, it was an entertaining children's movie. However, it's been somewhat more entertaining to watch the furious debate about the film in the last 7 months since it was released. There were those like myself who thought Rian Johnson made the most complex Star Wars movie to date, one that shows growth of beloved dynamic characters who face both triumphs and challenges. Growth, okay. It shows growth. You mean like mold? Is that what you're talking about? The growth of mold? Please be more specific. Then there are those who think the movie should have been populated by only hot white heroes with lots of abs doing manly things. Yeah, you can count me in that number. Yeah, that's what I'm in it for. You can tell by looking at me. That's what I went to the movies for. I love manly, what does he say? Hot white heroes with lots of abs. Yes, give it to me, man. Give it to me, baby. All right, so it goes on. Those in the latter camp took issue with Luke Skywalker's character in The Last Jedi. They didn't like the fact that this man had changed since we last saw him 35 years ago. This is not the character they've grown up idolizing.
The characters have lost their relatability as the remake The Last Jedi website complains. They wanted Luke Skywalker to fly down in his X-Wing to hit some bad guys with his lightsaber to save the day and live happily ever after with Leia, whether she's his sister or not.
Wow, Matt, that is sick. Now, nobody is saying anything like that. For you to come up with that, as a matter of fact, Jonathan Kasdan, is that you? That's not Matt Miller at all, is it? It's Jonathan Kasdan. Jonathan Kasdan loves that type of shit. You're talking about brother and sisterly love. I mean, love. You know what I'm saying? You really went out on a limb with that one. But you know what? You're out there by yourself. I'm going to leave it alone.
But that's not what Johnson gave us. Instead, Skywalker has been shaped by the challenges of the last 35 years. His opinion about the Jedi, about life, and rebellion, and heroes, and villains have changed. It's almost as if he's grown up.
Yeah, he put in a gasp. Okay.
In one of the best arguments I've seen in support of Skywalker's character in The Last Jedi, Jonathan McIntosh, who runs the YouTube account Pop Culture Detective, explains why Luke's actions track perfectly with who he was at the end of Return of the Jedi.
And Jonathan McIntosh says on Twitter, "A handful of The Last Jedi haters in my mentions are offering up a fascinating misreading of the final showdown between Luke and Vader in Return of the Jedi. I think it's worth taking a moment to discuss because it may help explain why these guys hate Luke Skywalker's character so much in Episode 8. He goes on to say, "The misreading, Luke Skywalker uses his great warrior skills to defeat Lord Vader. Once he's proven himself in combat and stands victorious, Luke does the honorable thing by showing mercy and sparing his enemy, thereby saving himself from corruption and redeeming his father. What really happened? Luke tries to avoid fighting but gives in to anger. As he bests Vader in combat, Luke realizes his great mistake. Winning this fight means losing his soul to the dark side. The battle itself is corrupting him. Understanding this, Luke throws away his weapon." Notice that the misreading above reframes Luke as a badass warrior and reframes his refusal to kill Vader as an act of mercy stemming from a position of power. This is significant because Luke beating Vader in combat is explicitly depicted as a moment of weakness, not strength.
Imagine that. Luke Skywalker's failed when he attempted to beat Darth Vader in physical combat. A true hero is one who doesn't fight at all.
Really, a true hero is one who doesn't fight at all. Tell that to our brave troops who fight for our freedom every single day. All right, how about this, Matt, you dipshit? How about this? A true hero is one who knows when to fight and when not to fight. Is that fair? How's that? Okay, a true hero is someone who doesn't want to fight, but knows when to fight, when he has to, or she has to. That kind of works for me. I don't know. Not to you, Matt. A true hero never fights. Ever. Ever. Even if he's fighting freaking hunger. You know what I mean? A true hero never fights. Okay, you stick with that one. You teach that one to your children. Okay, Matt.
It's a subversive notion that's lost on many Star Wars fans who believed that he was mercifully sparing Vader's life from a position of power. It's funny that fans don't understand this because throughout his entire franchise, Jedi have almost annoyingly touted themselves as arbiters of peace. They value nonviolence. They're more monks than soldiers, which is what Luke realized in his final confrontation with Vader and the Emperor.
All right, just one more thing I want to point out about that, guys. What Mr. Miller and what Mr. McIntosh failed to understand is that Luke decided that it was time to fight when Darth Vader threatened his sister, Leia, okay? Up until that point, he refused. He said he wasn't going to fight, you know, and we all understood why. But he realized he had to fight when Vader threatened Leia. So, fast forward to The Last Jedi, okay? What we see is Han had been killed. Okay, Luke closed himself up, off from the Force. So he didn't know that Han had been killed. But once he found out that Han had been killed, and he knew that Leia had sent Rey to come and get him because she was scared, she was alone, she was desperate, the same sister that forced him to fight, all right, the same sister that called him to action when she said, help me, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope, way back, all right? Which was cool about the way that R2 showed him that message. R2 knew better than anybody. Look, this is what should get you off your ass, Luke, all right? But Luke understood when it was time to fight. But by the time we see him in The Last Jedi, even that doesn't make him fight. The best we got out of him was causing a distraction. That was it. You know, we're supposed to believe that was his huge historic hero's moment. Okay, that was the realization of him as the chosen one, as, well, not maybe the chosen one, I guess that was Anakin, but Luke was supposed to be the one who would bring balance and, you know, the one who was going to, you know, he was it. You know, he's the Last Jedi. Rey certainly is not. So this is all I'm saying. This is what these guys are overlooking, is that it's not so much that a hero just won't fight at all, but a hero knows what to fight for. And in The Last Jedi, Luke, our hero, did not know what to fight for. So he didn't fight at all. And we're supposed to be cool with that because a hero just doesn't fight. Okay, that's your takeaway. Okay. All right, so anyway, Jonathan McIntosh goes on to say, the desire of some fans to reimagine Luke as a powerful warrior who spares the bad guy out of benevolence is consistent with the way male heroes are often represented. It's the way Batman is framed when he doesn't kill the Joker. But Luke Skywalker isn't the typical action hero. Luke's arc in the original trilogy ends with him not only refusing to kill the bad guy, but refusing to even fight the bad guy. This is why Luke's force projection standoff with Kylo in The Last Jedi is so perfect. It's the ultimate expression of everything Luke has learned. And he goes on to say, the fact that an iconic figure like Luke Skywalker was explicitly framed as weak for fighting a murderous villain like Darth Vader is a pretty subversive message, especially for a male hero in Hollywood. And it's still something that 35 years later, some fans still refuse to accept. Wow.
Though McIntosh doesn't get into it here, this reading of Skywalker's character tracks with his decision to kill Kylo Ren when he felt him turning to the dark side. That again was Skywalker realizing he was giving in to his fear, and that's why he changed his mind. When he fled to solitude, that was his ultimate act of pacifism, as was his non-violent confrontation with Ren in the conclusion of the film. And to give McIntosh's reading even more credibility,
check this out.
Rian Johnson also approves.
Oh, Rian Johnson, what are you doing here? I thought you were filming a movie. A trilogy even. No, you're not, because your ass got fired, Rian Johnson. That's why you're all over social media being salty, isn't it? Because you're fucked up. That's the reason why. And you're mad. So every time you get a chance, you're going to try to sock it to the fans. You pathetic little man, you. Well, let's see what Rian Johnson has to say in his tweet.
This illuminated something I found totally baffling. Thank you.
And Jonathan McIntosh writes back to Rian Johnson, I'm seriously considering printing out and framing this reply. Okay, so you have Jonathan McIntosh and Rian Johnson making sweet love to one another via social media. Oh, that's nice. I mean, it's hard to tell who is swallowing who here, but, you know, it's good to see these guys happy with themselves, you know? So there you have it, guys. Now, this article, it claims to put the issue of Luke Skywalker's characterization in The Last Jedi to rest. I'm going to have to give you an epic fail, Matt Miller, I believe your name is. You've proven nothing. As a matter of fact, you reached, all you did was reach, man. You reached out. You reached out. I looked over my shoulder, but your point wasn't there. I couldn't tell what you were saying. So anyway, guys, there you have it. I guess we have to get used to this until episode 9. And episode 9, man, it's going to be epic, but not for the reasons they think. Just wanted to share this with you guys. I will catch you on the next one. This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.